So I just came inside, as you can probably tell, but this is going to be a really, really short video. This is not so much a whole movie club, movie library thing, because I really don't think there's going to be anybody on tonight. Anyway, I didn't even have a topic or anything to go with, and I literally just came inside from bringing out some garbage and stuff. Still got my hoodie on, my jacket. Hey, Paulie, how's it going, man? I haven't seen you in a while. This is probably going to be one of my quicker videos because this time I'm going to talk a little bit about something that we don't talk about a lot in the movie library. It's good to see. Actually, there was a couple people asked about you. I wondered where you had gone to. So I was kind of excited a while back because they announced another one of those mini classic things. I do like those dedicated consoles, like the NES and the SNES Classics that came out. And I do have both of them. I did pick up both of those systems, and I play them a lot. Probably the SNES a little bit more than the NES, but I do like to play them. Usually, a lot of times when Hin's gone out of town, my better half, then I'll, there's not much to do but watch movies and play video games, so that's kind of what I do. So, a while back, Sony announced that there was going to be a PlayStation Classic, like a PlayStation 1. It wasn't going to have the analog sticks. It was going to be like the really classic PlayStation with the, with the pad, with the D-pad, and the buttons, right? Did you play games there, Polly? Were you a PlayStation guy? So, I was tentatively excited, and I actually thought about pre-ordering it. I thought back on the days of like playing the PlayStation, and all the cool games that I played, the Tony Hawk's, the SmackDown games, just the different RPGs that I played, just the really, really cool stuff. And it went through my head, like all the different like Sudokan, all the different stuff that they could put out in this one here. They said it was going to be about 20 games, so I was kind of excited about that. There was a lot of good options. Played PlayStation, mostly played computer games. A lot of my friends are actually into the computer gaming. I'm a console guy, but computer gaming for me at the time when I started playing was way more expensive. It's gotten a lot more affordable now, but I'm stuck on the console. It's kind of thing that I do. So they have announced, and I really just for today got the first time to really look at it. I did say earlier that I thought I dodged a bullet on this, and I really do think I did. So, if you don't mind, and I expect this, anytime I talk about games on my channel for some reason, it tends to be the least watched videos that I have. But maybe I'll go somewhere else from that. You'd have to watch and find out, and hopefully contribute. So, hope to see some of you guys in here. So, let's go through the list really quickly of what's coming on the PlayStation Classic before we get into any movie stuff. So, we have Ballerina to Shinden. And anytime I say a game here that you're actually excited about, you stop me or say something about it. Or it's a game that you remember. That something you got like really nice memories about. Cool Borders 2. Destruction Derby. There's Final Fantasy 7. Never heard of that. Okay. There's Final Fantasy 7. That's a good game. Grand Theft Auto. Now, that could be exciting, except for the fact that it's Grand Theft Auto. Not Grand Theft Auto 3, but that would be PlayStation 2, I guess. But the original Grand Theft Auto wasn't exactly the most exciting. Like, it was a top-down game. And it was a game. Intelligent Cube with a Q. Jumping Flash. Yeah, that's you're going to see, Polly, you're going to see a pattern like emerging here. Jumping Flash. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid the first one. Hey, Scholar. I'm going to be talking some movie stuff, but actually I'm talking about the PlayStation Classic right now. If you're a PlayStation fan, I would actually really like your opinion, because I'm going through the games that they've listed on the Classic. I actually just came in from outside. So I apologize for my kind of more hoodie look. Mr. Driller. I have no idea what that is. Puzzle game? Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. That's actually not a bad game. Rayman, the first Rayman. Resident Evil Director's Cut is good. That is a good game. Persona 1. Now, if you're a fan of the Persona series, if you've played like the later ones, they're really, really good. The first Persona game is kind of like when we're talking about before, but the first Resident Evil game, it's not a good game. It's really, really not a good game. But okay. Ridge Racer, that was already announced. Type 4. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Well, it's 2 puzzle games. Siphon Filter. I love Siphon Filter 2. Like you mentioned, Polly, there's a pattern here. Siphon Filter, not so much. Though, Tekken 3, good game. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Twisted Metal, the original again. And not the first choice when you think about Twisted Metal games that would go in a PlayStation Classic. And a Wild Arms, which is okay. So, overall, out of those 20 games listed on here, I could see me actually sitting down, like legitimately sitting down to play maybe 3. So yes. Yeah, exactly, Polly. And for $100, the games that they do have listed on here that are interesting, I do have a PlayStation 2 that is backwards compatible, and it would be cheaper for me to go and actually buy original copies of the games that I like on that thing rather than would be there. Yeah, exactly. You're a PC gamer too. Scalder, so is Polly actually, as a Wii and a PS4 Pro. I've got I've got a lot of games, like the PlayStation 4 game systems, Xbox One, Switch, Wii U, all that stuff. And if you've never been down in you ever seen my area before, let's kind of show you that I actually do like classic gaming. Oh, here we go. Whoa, that's way too close to see me. So I'm going to just slide this out for a second. Show you guys what I mean. So this here is my area where my consoles and stuff go, like the GameCube, you know, a lot of Tangled stuff down there, Retron, N64, PlayStation 2, Super NES, Laserdisc player, VCR, Retron. So a lot of different stuff. Well, they were fun, and the things that see, Sony, a lot of people were excited because they thought Sony can pull this off, because although a lot of Sony's PlayStation games were third party, they had a really good relationship with a lot of the third party people. So there was some pretty high expectations for the system. Things like maybe getting a Tony Hawk. It's not like we've had a good Tony Hawk in years, so maybe get one of the original Tony Hawk or Tony Hawk 2 coming on the system. Maybe speak to WWE, get one of the original SmackDown games, like SmackDown 2, or for instance, was probably the best one that came on the PlayStation 2. Maybe a kind of a Siphon Filter 2 or Siphon Filter 3 would go on there, or even like one of the later games, maybe even a Gran Turismo, which was actually pretty, groundbreaking in its time. There are games that are kind of cool, but nothing that's really worth buying, like even a classic system for. And I think that's going to be the problem with anyone that comes out that's not Nintendo for this, like of the big ones, because to be honest, Sony and Xbox both relied heavily on third-party distribution. Well, Nintendo, whether you liked them or not at the time, you bought a Nintendo to play Nintendo games. So you bought a Nintendo to buy, like, to play the Mario games or the Zelda games, or you bought it to play the Metroid series, or, you know, one of the many series that came out around that time. So when you're getting a classic from Nintendo or Super Nintendo or whatever Nintendo classic you're getting, play the top. Yeah, I know. The idea is that it makes a lot more sense. But I had to get that off my chest. It was really bugging me. And the killer part is, I didn't have a topic coming in here aside from that. Now, I do want to say that if you saw my Shameless video, you know, where I showed all my Shameless like Blu-rays and DVD collection, today Shameless announced that they are having a sale. So if you've never gotten any Shameless stuff before, now is the perfect time to go in and grab some Shameless releases. There's a couple sales that were going on right now, but I've mentioned them on Macabre One before. Again, fantastic. And of course, there's the big sale, the sale that is going to probably take up my next video. And so we're probably going to dive into my Criterion collection again, where I'm going to give you some ideas of some of that stuff that because after all, it is that time of year again. It's Criterion sale time. Shameless, well, probably Shameless is a company in the UK that deals mostly with Italian and Giallo releases. Some Poliziotto, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but Italian police ones, some sexploitation, some of their some different type of release. Did you see my Shameless? Like, if you look behind me right now, you see all those yellow cases right there in a line, just right under my finger. That's what I'm doing. See that yellow case? So that's Shameless. They put off a lot of really cool stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Shameless thing on my Facebook page. I'm going to kind of let you know what the pricing is like right now for the sale. And I'll tell you about some of the ones that are there, because I do really think that Shameless deserves to be looked into. And if you ever order from Arrow Video Poly, then you can feel pretty good about Shameless right now, because here's the thing: Arrow Video is the distributor for Shameless films. So they've got a good distributor. Going through gals. Okay, so perfect. So I'm just going to hit on some of these. So all Shameless DVDs right now are £5 each. So yeah, that's pretty freaking good. And I lost the page. Blu-rays are £7. Hey guy, how's it going? What, the only Shameless you want was what? I missed out the end of it there. And the 10th Victim with the lenticular dual format cover, that's actually on for £9. If you spend over £20, you get a free Shameless badge, which I would really want, actually, but I don't think I'm going to be able to afford to get anything from the sale, and I'm super bummed about that. But anyway, so I'm going to go into some of the stuff here, some of the stuff I don't have. So All the Colors of the Dark Blu-ray, which is a fantastic Martino film, Sergio Martino, is £7 right now. Almost Human, which is really good, and I do have the DVD, that one, the Blu-ray, if you want to upgrade that one, that's £7 as well, as is Cannibal Ferox, which is supposedly be one of the better cannibal films. It's £20, so do it this way. So I'm going to go to my XE currency, and you're in the States, right, Polly? So for instance, a £7 Blu-ray would cost you approximately $9. A £5 DVD would approximately be around $6.50. And if you, like a 20-pound, for instance, would be around $25. So let's just say you'd be getting a pretty good deal. Della Morte Dell'Amore is $13.99. That's actually pretty good. That one just came out. Four Flies in Grey Velvet, the classic Argento one, is running at £7. I do recommend that one. Yeah, it isn't. It's not a bad deal at all. The classic Lucio Fulci New York Ripper runs at £7, and they got their version of Suspiria. And that was like, that one runs at £7 as well. So no, actually Shameless is running the sale themselves on their own original site. So if you go to Shameless Films on Facebook, it'll actually link you to the sale, or you can just put in your web browser shameless-films.com, I think. That'll bring it up as well. The 10th victim is £9, and let's just look at a couple more here. The Church is £7. I'm just going through the Blu-rays here right now. The Sect is £7. The Mountain of the Cannibal Gods includes a board game. Okay. Aaron just got interested in this. Includes unique board game inside. Shameless are really good at putting together like different things. The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward. And if you do not own The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward and you like giallo films at all, this one is one that you should own. The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward is a fantastic giallo. This is the Blu-ray edition of it here. And there is Torso Blu-ray, runs £7 as well. You can also buy replacement Blu-ray cases, yellow Blu-ray cases. Let's say, for instance, you got some, I don't know, maybe you got some Blue Underground or some other type of like giallos, you know, and you got regular Blu-rays for them with the blue cases, and you just want to have all your giallos in your collection with these yellow cases. You can, that's an option. So that's something you can do. That's something I've thought about actually. So that's in their Blu-ray section, but there's a lot more than that. So let's kind of check their DVDs, because they have a lot of interesting stuff when it comes to DVD as well. And I'm going to go down through. Remember, these are all £5 each. You can get like Ruggiero Deodato's House on the Edge of the Park, or Cannibal Holocaust. Oh yeah, they do have some really good extras and bonuses. And a lot of these here, if I remember correctly, are maybe region free. I'd have to look into that though. Phantom of Death is there. Strip Nude for Your Killer. Strip Nude for Your Killer is by Andrea Bianchi. And he's the guy that put out the classic Burial Ground zombie film. So if you remember how kind of weird and sleazy and unusual Burial Ground is, well, Strip Nude for Your Killer is a giallo version of that. So yeah, I do recommend that. Amsterdam is really, really good. That one is has a fantastic chase scene that I definitely recommend. Imagine like the chase scene in French Connection. Now put it on a boat. It's kind of like that. One of the cheesy ones like Viva and Nurse. Just a lot of really, really good stuff. You know, I want to just look at all their DVDs, because let's go to the DVD section. I'm looking at it here, see, on a phone, which makes it a little bit harder. Now, if you don't want to, say you're not quite sure about like a Blu-ray of a certain film, like giallo or something like, or one of those other ones, you can always opt to get the DVD edition of it. And you know, DVDs are going to play in most like things anyway. All the Colors of the Dark, Almost Human again. Almost Human with lenticular cover, and that's the real expensive one. It's like £35, so don't have to worry about that. You can get the same one for £5, and it's only a lenticular case. That's the difference. Movies like Baba Yaga, Contraband, which has the really cool. What's really cool about Contraband is it kind of has a slightly lenticular cover where you see a gun blowing a guy's brains out, and you turn it and it does that. What's cool is they got some of their sets there as well, like Deodato's Cinema of Death is $9.50. That's 3 DVDs. Stuff like Escape from the Bronx, Flavia the Heretic, Footprints on the Moon, Formula for a Murder. I'm not sure. Do they have the Mac edition there? I'm not sure. I don't think the Mac is included in this one. The original edition of Formula for Murder included a Mac, which is kind of like a yellow, like rain slicker thing that you put over yourself. Fulci's Box of Terror. I got to show you the cover of this one, guys, because this one is a thing of beauty. And this may be the type that would get somebody to order. Come on, show me. So, this here, it's not a great, is Fulci's Box of Terror. As you can see, it has 3 movies in it, or hopefully you can see. We got the Fulci's Box of Terror includes New York Ripper, Manhattan Baby, The Black Cat, and it has an exclusive booklet as well in there. So that's kind of a cool little addition. Trying to get back to the page now. Man, I just really went really far into that. Yeah, that isn't in all the cover, the artwork that Shameless does is kind of like in-house design, and they do some really cool stuff. So, in a second, Paulie, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out some of my Shameless there to show you, so that you get kind of like an idea of the stuff that they do put out. It's probably the best way to do this. But I wanted to tell you guys about some stuff that I don't have that actually may be interesting for you. Oasis of Fear is another one that I thought was really good. My Dear Killer, Phantom of Death, Ratman, Satan's Baby Doll, Shameless Pop Erotica Fest, and Shameless Sexploitation box set. There's a Slasher Nasties box set which includes Torso, Killer Nun, and Night Train to Terror, which is a good one there as well. The 10th Victim is a 9-pound one, and I'll show you that one in a second actually, because I do have that one. So I'll go over in a second, I'll look at a couple of my releases over there, and I'll show you. The Bronx Warriors Trilogy is 18 pounds. Now that one is in a tin, and you might be interested in seeing that one as well. So House of Laughing Windows, Sister of Ursa is another great one. The Washing Machine is 9 pounds. I do recommend that. So let me go over, pick out a couple of the Shameless stuff. Oh, it's definitely worth picking up. Like, here's the thing. For 9 or 10 pounds, Paula, you can probably grab a set of like 3 movies, 3 DVDs with features and stuff on them. So let me go grab you a couple there to give you kind of an idea of what it is. And I'll be right back, okay? Don't leave me here. It's pretty much just you and me here tonight, I think. But I'm really glad you're back, actually. All right, so I won't go too deeply into these, but it's going to give you an idea of what you would get. So, first off, regular Shameless. So, a lot of the Shameless ones here are pretty much so this one, for instance, this is Sister of Ursula, and as you can see, it has the yellow case. Now, the first 20 Shameless releases actually had writing on the side, and if you put them all together, it spells out the word Shameless in your on the spines. Now, a lot of these, most of these here have alternate artwork as well. So there's like reversible cover on each of these. This one here has like interview, unique artwork, theatrical trailer, Shameless trailer gallery, which is actually pretty cool, especially if you're looking into getting into more giallo type stuff. This is The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward. This is one that I do recommend. This one is upgraded to Blu-ray now on their site, and it has Edwidge Finch, who is pretty much known as like the Scream Queen for the giallo set. That's kind of her thing. She will get naked. She will be stalked. And this one here has like an only 20-minute interview with the director, English and Italian audio and subtitles. Director introduction of the film. Shameless fast track, which is actually kind of cool. Tactical trailers and Shameless complete trailers, and which finished bio presentation there as well. This one here is What Have You Done to Your Daughters, another fantastic film, and really cool by Massimo Dallamano. If you've never seen it, I do recommend it. It is a really good one. Great cast. What do I think is a must? That's a hard one. I will actually look at that. But right now, Iarrifu Shameless House on my Arrow wish list. Yeah, they do ship. They do ship. Where do you live at, Scudder, again? Because I will tell you this right now, and this will be a thing. Geography, I suck at. So, to the point where people tell me where they live at around here, I don't know it because I'm kind of new here, and I'm not good with directions. My better half would always tell you I'm not good with directions. So this is their Estonia. And I'm going to pretend, I'm not even going to pretend that I know where that is. So is that around what area? North East Europe. Oh, okay. Then I think they should ship there. Definitely worth checking into for sure. So this is a Blu-ray, one of their Blu-rays. You can see they still use like yellow cases here as well. And so I must have said something that sounded like a certain word on my iPhone that made up a certain app come up. Again, great features in here. Interview with like writer, assistant director Lucio Cozzi. Restored film rebuilt with prior missing footage. New English audio remastered from original vault materials. Just really cool. Special guest star, yeah. There you go. We got a guest star on this one. This is, of course, the classic New York Ripper. One of the cool things about that is, much like if you bought the box set. Hey, Jesse, how's it going? Welcome back, by the way. Shameless, Jesse, Shameless Films has a sale going on right now. Blu-rays, £7. DVDs, £5. So there we go with the Lucio Fulci. And usually here, the thing with Shameless is that I can't open up their booklets because there's tons of nudity on the inside. But there's tons of great writing too. But let's just see if I can find one without nudity. Okay, there we go. We can find one without nudity. So, right, and the thing, you can buy sets too. So, a Shameless set with 3 discs would look something like, kind of like this. I'll show you this one first. So this is the Deodato set. I'm actually very proud of grabbing this one because this Arrow does. They won't buy them out, Jesse, but what they do is Arrow does like distribution for Shameless. Arrow distributes for like a few different companies, and to be totally honest, Arrow's would not be interested in buying out any of those companies when they can just like probably make money from distribution rights and just go like that, and just work with them like in the future. It wouldn't like behove like Arrow to take any debt or any of that stuff. Love the case on this one. So yeah, this is the Deodato one, and just to let you know, it's not on one disc or anything like that. They each have their own discs, which are identical to obviously to the DVD discs that came out originally. So a Shameless DVD costs £5. A Shameless box set of 3 costs £9. Just make sure. So do the math on the ones that you like. Now these have features and stuff with them. I can't show you the back of this because again, tons of nudity on the back. But this one has Cannibal Holocaust with 2 versions of the film, a director's re-edit, and like a second edit of the film. There's House on the Edge of the Park and Phantom of Death. Exclusive interviews, features, trailers, that type of stuff. So, and of course this has like a secondary cover as well. But the cover is pretty much gives you like the artwork drawing of that. So this is another type of Shameless box set that they did. And this is the Shameless Sexploitation cover. I love this cover actually. Now what I can't show you is the unique gimmick that this cover has. So being a sexploitation set means that this is a slip. Now what's inside of this is actually this here cover but instead of like them being clothed, they all the women in the pictures are naked. Oh yeah, I do think that Shameless and Arrow are going to get together for an Ultimate Edition 4 Flies down the road. But to get 4 Flies now for like £9, and like to get a really good edition of it, not a bad a deal, especially just before Christmas. It's great stocking stuffer too. Yeah, and what's really cool, so what you're seeing happening in Walmart and like with Mill Creek and a lot of that stuff now is you're seeing these retro VHS cases, right? Yeah, there's a couple like that. There's actually one called The Nurse with Ursula Andress. Got a picture of Ursula Andress on it, and it's called a shutter cover. So what it means is you see Ursula Andress dressed up in the nurse's outfit, and you use the shutter cover to undress her. I'm not joking. That's the thing on one of the cases. So what you see a lot nowadays, if you go to your Walmart, you're going to see like a lot of these Walmart exclusives for these Mill Creeks, these Happy Birthday to Me, and they all look like those old school, VHS cases and VHS covers, stuff like that. Now, here's the thing though. A few years before that was even thought about as being a thing, Shameless had already done it. The inside of this case here, as you can see, had already done the old cool school Betamax style covers. This was years before what's becoming like a big trend right now. So a few of theirs are like that. They also have a Slasher Classics collection that's like this as well, and it has 3 slasher films in it. Yeah, they definitely. I wanted to show you there's 3 movies in this one. I wanted to show you about Polly again. Nudity stops me. So speaking of innovation, this was probably one of their most innovative things that they put out. One of my favorite unheralded Ruggero Deodato films is, I'm not big on Cannibal Holocaust and stuff like that, but I do like giallos, and this one's not for everybody, but I do like this one. It's kind of quirky, and I love the case that they used. So this is the washing machine. Yeah, exactly. It always is the little guys, and they don't get the credit that they normally deserve. So hopefully, it's people like us that can make sure that they do actually get some kudos for what they do. So this is a washing machine. This is again a steel case. I actually really dig this one. Yeah, and it's got like it's a tin. And the one that I showed before, which everybody's seen, but I think deserves to be shown again because it's really cool, is the Bronx Warriors Shameless trilogy. This is probably the best looking tin that I got in my collection, actually, and maybe one of the best looking steels. I love the the embossedness of this here, like embossed even on and just the fact that he took to really go all the way with it. And they could have just like a lunchbox, kind of like, yeah, but sturdy. And the fact that they put put all the movies in there, you can see the embossing. So you can see actually how well embossed it is just by looking at the inside of the cover there. Now each one of these here, like in the Bronx Warriors trilogy, again, they have their own disc, their own cover, and they actually have like alternate artwork as well. And as always, like where they're close into the top 20, it does have the Shameless logo on there. You can beat someone to death. So not only is this a set, it's a weapon, Jesse. It's a weapon. So there you go. Hopefully that gives anybody that never saw my Shameless thing before a bit of an idea of exactly what Shameless is all about. So again, it's £7 for most of their Blu-rays, £5 for most of their DVDs. I don't think that's a bad deal, actually. And of course, this is a time when everybody's excited about the Criterion sale that's going on right now, and me too. It's pretty awesome. I don't know if I'll be getting anything during this Criterion sale. There's a lot that I want from Criterion, but honestly, at this point, if I was going to had the money to spend the bones to get some of those releases, I probably would be grabbing more of the Shameless stuff because that's just more my style, right? Sisters is a really good release if you don't have it, Jesse. I have a version of Sisters here. I'm not sure what company I've got it on. I think I have the Arrow Arrow edition of Sisters, actually. I think it's Arrow that put it out. Ghost Road's a good movie as well. But at the end of the day, I love Italian films. I love giallos. I really, really think that still to this very day, with this, all that Arrow's putting out, and eventually what we should hopefully see some Scream Factory giallos coming in the future. I think that's going to be an avenue that they're going to want to go down. Definitely, it's Shameless is for a lot of people, for a lot of collectors, I consider it an untapped gold mine of basically a way to dip your feet, or even go head first right into the giallo collection. Maybe catch. Oh, are you going to see the new Suspiria? It's not showing around here yet. I would love to go and see it, but we don't have it here. I'm going to see Halloween tomorrow, actually. Vinegar Syndrome's secret titles. Do you have any idea what the secret title is going to be? Because I don't. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't have any idea what the secret title is going to be, and it's going to really depend. I mean, anything that comes right now, because that comes for me anytime after, well, a couple weeks ago, basically, except like that comes from that's coming from friends of mine. A good friend of mine and commenter James actually let me know that he was going to be sending me out like the children. I've got the children. I don't know if I want to upgrade that or not. And Night Beast, I'm not sure about. Is sending out a package to me, and I'm very excited about that. Another great friend of mine here is sending me out the release of Night the Demon from Indicator. So needless to say, when I get those I will unbox. But like anything that my better half gets me, it goes away for Christmas, so I don't get to see those at this point. But super excited about a lot of that stuff. I do have to get back into buying some Criterions. I'm really way behind on the Criterion releases that are out there right now, and I do want to do a separate video, talking about more than Criterion stuff. Me, actually, a friend of mine that worked with me actually just got accepted into college, which is actually congratulations, Chantel. She's probably not watching here tonight because obviously she's excited with her friends. She's going on that next step of of college, and that's exciting. I know because she's the same age as my youngest, who's also who's in university right now. So love to see it when younger, older people go on to some fantastic thing and make that next step, and that's always an awesome thing. So even if you're not here, Chantel, congratulations, you'll do fantastic, you're rocking. Yeah, I don't know, out of all the sales that have come out recently, the Shameless one probably excited me the most. It was fantastic probably for me having them here in the videos, and as I spoke with them recently, I speak to them all the time, actually, whether we're talking or texting. A lot more texting because they're very busy now. I'm hoping to get to see them over Christmas. Now, my youngest has really dived into university. He's also helping in his spare time. He's helping this student learn English, and is loving his classes. Philosophy. Likes it, but doesn't like writing the papers. But that's the thing. That's college. My oldest, she's actually working at a bank right now, and is actually doing pretty well, doing better than her old man. So that's always a good thing to know. So they're doing well, and I'm sure if Mimi was here tonight, she would say, "All hail the giant silver disc." So for my kids, I will say that, and that's I miss them a lot. I wish that they were here with me, but I'm glad that they're in an area that they love so much, and that they're enjoying it, and hopefully that continues that way. So I'm always excited to hear when they have to tell me stuff, when they're doing what new stuff they're doing. I dressed up for Halloween. If you saw my last video, you saw what I did for Halloween. I wore the kind of the double mask thing. With which freaked out my one of my coworkers who's not a big horror movie fan. So I went in with the entire Scream outfit on, the Scream outfit with the mask, which, you know, it's pretty tame type of mask. But what they didn't know at the time was underneath the mask was the Orphan Killer mask, which is extremely creepy. And I took off my Scream mask, like I was taking off to kind of like to sit down to at my desk to work. And when I did, I had the super creepy Orphan Killer mask on the inside of it. And yes, I'm a bit of a bastard for doing that, but I really enjoyed that, actually. When it's Chud, that's awesome, Jesse. I like to see that. You saw them on Instagram? Yeah, I actually, I couldn't help it. And she's a sweetheart. Like she sits right next to me. She's a really nice lady. But she's more like she's a Waltons fan. She's not like a horror fan or anything like that. And I tease her a little bit, but it's only because I really do like her. And she's her and I've never met her hubby actually, but she talks about him a lot, like in really nice terms. But she seems like a really sweet lady. So I had to do that. I had to like just do that just for fun. And yeah, if you saw my Instagram, then you know that I did kind of like an Instagram, like 5 or 6 picture review where I take out that. I'm super proud of those pictures, by the way. That's my favorite Instagram post that I've done in a while. And if you saw my Instagram, I was probably wearing this exact same thing when I went to work today. So I'm actually kind of sweating here now. So this is probably going to be one of my shorter videos, and I have to go up and take out my coat and grab like that what you saw over there was like an empty can of bubbly, and I really would like to have like actually a fresh can of bubbly, but I'm worried that if I go to grab a can of bubbly, you guys are going to leave. But yeah, this is my Friday, Polly, so it literally is my Friday. So tomorrow I have off. I kind of want to grab a drink, but I don't want you guys to leave, and I think that you might if I go to grab a drink. I've really become a bubbly fan. I literally, to the point, Polly, that I went. It was like the store was. It was about 5 or 10 minutes before the store was closing, before Walmart was closing, which is about 5 minutes walk from me, right? I walk fast. I'm known for being like a quick walker, exactly. Basically, so I realized I want to make a video. I want bubbly to be in this video, and the store Walmart is closing like pretty soon. So I booted up to Walmart, like run the entire way up there, get in just in time, just like 2 minutes before the door closes, go grab the 12-pack of bubbly, pay for it, come back here, and bam. And as soon as I take it, first it's like that, oh God, this is horrible, this is bubbly. And then like that horribleness kind of like sets in, like, I really like this horribleness. I kind of dig it. I dig the taste of bubbly, and it's the grapefruit. Like there's different ones. Walmart carries them. There's a strawberry and all that, but I haven't tried any of those yet. But I do know that I like the grapefruit bubbly. It's a sparkling water, Jesse. So I wouldn't exactly, I wouldn't really say it's sweet. It's more of like a sparkling. I've got a kind of an empty can right here. So it's bubbly, sparkling water. Yeah. See, there you go. See, it all comes together in one. Like, you want to try grapefruit? That will be the one. Andrew Bellina, I am going to see Halloween tomorrow, so I can tell you then whether I like it or not. I know you weren't a fan, but I'm expecting to like this one. The one that I'm holding, the grapefruit one, it's pretty good. I mean, I gotta say, I've never really been a believer in what you would call something being an acquired taste. For me, in a lot of cases, I either like it or I don't like it, right? Tomorrow, actually. My drive-in was actually going to show it, so I waited for the drive-in. But unfortunately, it's raining. It's pouring down rain, and it is going to be for the rest of the weekend. So I'm going to go to the theater and see it because the drive-in had to close down. That's the worst thing about a drive-in. When it's like raining hard, they can't show the film. But we still have it in the theater, and it's actually doing really well here. They have 5 showings per day, and it's been going pretty good. Oh yeah, well, just like 50 minutes away from me. There's a drive-in. I go there. Last year I went there pretty regularly. Normally they'll have like a double feature. Sundays they'll have a triple feature, and every once in a while they'll have an all-night showing, which is kind of cool. You can actually go there, and they have like sometimes they'll have like a family night where they have like where people can actually get tents and stuff and go there and watch the movies in the cars and like tent outside and like watch a movie in the morning type of thing. Yeah, see, that's one of the selling points for me here. When I was like when we were thinking about moving here, we were driving through. We just come to visit because Hind had a convention to go to. Suspiria, oh, that's awesome. I love to see Suspiria. That's the new one, right, with Tilda Swinton and the girl that was in 50 Shades of Grey, which is a film. But you know, Don Johnson's like daughter, Dakota Johnson. Wouldn't it be? See, I don't know if I'd want to see. I was about to say, wouldn't it be cool to see the old Suspiria, followed by the new Suspiria? Oh no, I do think that we are without a doubt, with the money that this has made, we are getting a slasher resurgence. So, whatever Victor Miller has to do with Sean Cunningham, they better get off their ass and do it now, because this is the one time, right now, that they can look towards making a mint off of the Friday the 13th franchise. And they should seriously be thinking about doing that. Because, do you want a new Elm Street, Andrew? Because I don't. I'm good with the Elm Street saga. And I'll tell you why. Because Michael or Jason, they'll always drive it to the ground before it. But we'll get some good stuff, and we'll get some like kind of like sleeper stuff that we won't even notice till later on. Because Michael, Jason, you can put a guy behind the mask as long as they do like a decent job with it. Some are going to be better than others. But yeah, the new Friday's the big one. But here's the thing: there's all these other little slasher films, things that either were kind of popular, were popular later on, or maybe they didn't just do that well, or ones that just weren't that good that they could actually remake and do a better job of. Or so, I would not be surprised if companies like Blumhouse or any of the other like smaller companies like that are making films are looking towards right now at all those other little slasher films, those ones that maybe had some one-offs. So we've already seen like a My Bloody Valentine 3D. Will we see another My Bloody Valentine? You could see anything like we see a new Prowler movie come out, redo that one. We could, there's a lot of different slasher films. Obviously, Happy Birthday to Me, which has been getting more publicity and more look from the Indicator release, and also from the recent Mill Creek, like the retro VHS cover, Happy Birthday to Me. Films like that. You could even see something like a Silent Rage without Chuck Norris, with a new actor type of thing, with a kind of a comeback. Sleepaway Camp. Oh, really? Actually, I'm a huge fan. Oh, you got to see Parts 2 and 3 as well. You're excited for horror, but you're wondering about the slasher boom. I don't know if the slasher boom can get as big as it was back in the 80s, because here's the thing. During the 80s time, a new Sleepaway Camp would be awesome, but you have to get the right actor for that one too. Now, you could use Felissa if we were going to do like a newer one, or at least please give her a role in it that's way better than I'm sure we can all agree that Return to Sleepaway Camp wasn't exactly banner material for anybody that had to work on that film. You think that the ending would be more politically incorrect right now? I don't think that they can be as popular, but I think that, but you have to remember that, Andrew, we did get a slasher like semi mini boom like during the Scream era as well. And during that time, not everything hit high when it came out, but a lot of them, thanks to now and like to companies like Scream and Arrow and 88 Films and companies like that that are putting that stuff out. MVD, Rewind, new sequel. If it's a new sequel, definitely. Felissa Rose, of course, because Angela, the other Angela, Pamela Springsteen, she's not going to do that. You need more movies like Strangers Pray at Night. Now, Strangers Pray at Night may actually have been kind of the kickoff for this, right? because Strangers Pet Night really is like an 80s slasher film. Like they took the home invasion creepiness of the strangers, they turned it around and made it into like this homage to like 80s slasher films. The Strangers Pet Night, no doubt about it, more than it being a sequel to Strangers, it is an 80s slasher film. That is totally what that film is. That's what it's going for. And for me, as an 80s slasher film fan, it really succeeds. So that was kind of the kickoff. Now, Halloween coming out and doing as well as it did, this cements it. See, I don't know. I think we'll get some franchises, but I think that if they're really thinking about it, it's a lot cheaper for a lot of them to actually look into remaking something that may be one other thing. And even more than franchise, Andrew, what I would guess is that this is the time that Scream Queens from back in the 80s are going to get a look again. I consider this the golden age of well, they do have a lot of great like TV horror, but for me, honestly, we did have people forget the great TV horror that we had back in the 70s and 80s. The 70s was the golden age of the TV horror film. By far and large, was the golden age of the horror TV film. And the 80s had a lot of really kind of cool horror fantasy stuff as well. But I don't know if I'd call this the golden age of TV horror or not. But it's definitely a good age for TV in general. And that is the one thing that I will credit, like to things like the higher price TV channels like HBO and Showcase and some of the streaming stuff is that actually getting some of that stuff. See, Amy Steele will come back for Friday the 13th. Adrienne King, I'm sure we could get Adrienne King back to do something, because here's the thing. They can't do anything with part 1 right now. And so they can bring Adrienne King back. They can bring Adrienne King back as a different character. Hell, they could bring Adrienne King back as Jason's mom if they want to do that. They could do that, though she does seem kind of young for it. I guess Betsy Palmer, was she around? She was older than Adrienne King, that's for sure. But it'd be interesting to see it done. We'll see a resurgence, I think, of Scream Queens and that type of thing. Corey Feldman, yeah, because Thom Matthews, I think he would definitely do something. John Shepard, not so much. He's gone into he's become like more religious. He does like a lot of religious work, so you wouldn't get John Shepard. And John Shepard's actually is a shame because he's one of my favorites. Think you can get more serious slashers? I'm not quite sure about that. It can go a lot of different ways. Terrifier, not a favorite of mine. I thought it was okay. Definitely had the gore. Went a lot more for the comedic horror aspect of it, and you do get a lot of slasher films kind of like tread that razor's edge of comedy and horror, and you can't blame them for that, especially with this stuff that they like to do. I think we're going to get a mix. I think that we're going to get a lot of people trying to push the franchises, but overall I think we're going to get a lot of the Scream Queens being looked at. Jamie Lee Curtis came back. A lot of the focus on this film here is going to be Jamie Lee Curtis came back, and they brought a Scream Queen back, and they did it, and it revitalized the franchise. So franchise-wise, Scream Queens for sure. But Amy Steele not only did Friday the 13th. Oh man, I got bad news for you, Andrew Bellina. I love the Mist TV series. There is no second season. Unlike you, I was a huge fan of that series. We watch it. Like don't stop watching. Finish it. Definitely finish it. But it doesn't. It goes on. It's left up there, but it's definitely worth watching. And I would love to see it if somebody would bring that back. Oh, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. It's just that I'm just letting you know that there isn't a second season to go on with after the first season. And Andrew, I think you'll like it. It's really good. Lots of twists and turns. I'm not going to give anything at all away. Enjoy the ride. I really did. I was very excited when I watched The Mist, and I liked the take that they did on it. It is disappointing when that happens, but the good thing right now, Polly, is that this is an era where there is other options, and there's streaming, there's other things. So there's more of a possibility. Oh, that's actually really cool. That things can come back down the road. A show can go off the air for 2 or 3 years and come back down the road. Now, thanks, it could be picked up by another, by a service that needs, for instance, that needs to fill out their ranks. The House of Cards is ending on Netflix. Netflix has canceled a bunch of like their of their Marvel shows, and apparently the drop off for this season of Daredevil was 50%. So Daredevil, Jessica Jones, those could end up going too. So Netflix is going to be looking at some different stuff. Oh, thanks, K-Dog. I really do appreciate that. What are my thoughts on the new Pet Sematary? Well, I like it. I do. I love John Lithgow, and I think he's a great choice because I don't think you can beat Fred Gwynne. You can't. He's just iconic in that role, and I think the movie's going to be cool. It's going to be brutal. I haven't seen it yet, so don't give away anything yet. The Haunting of House Hill. I've heard that's really good. I haven't seen it yet myself, and I heard that it has like kind of the cool old school scares. It's not a lot of the jump scares in the Haunting of Hill House, but it's more of the because this is based on the Shirley Jackson like novel, right? So this is going to be more of like a kind of the subtle scares, and I'm more of a fan of the subtle scares when it comes to like to films like to haunted house type of films. One of my favorite like ghost stories of all time is honestly The Changeling. That's going to be pretty like standard answer, but The Changeling was one of my favorite like ghost stories with George C. Scott. It's never anything that has any boo type jump scares to it. The scares are very subtle and very slow burn, and I just really like that. Harry and the Hendersons. I totally forgot about that. That was a TV series too, Paulie. They made like a TV show of that afterwards. But Venom, are you talking about The Changeling too? Because that is hands down. I watched that one like so many times. Haunting of Hill House is a must watch. Yeah, no, that is one always that I'm definitely going to be. But I want to take the time to actually sit down and like watch it all and kind of like binge it and like take it in. Is this a binge one, or should I watch it over a few nights? Would you say that it's something that I should kind of like soak in a little bit over time? I watched all the Halloweens this October except for the new Halloween. I even watched the ones that I'm not the biggest fan of, like the Rob Zombie ones. I watched those as well. But you didn't like the trailer for Pet Sematary? There wasn't a lot to it, but I feel safe with it. It's Pet Sematary was one of the bigger Stephen King films. It's actually one of the biggest, like, it did the best out of many of Stephen King's. Many people think about The Shining and Carrie and all that, but I think if you look back, Pet Sematary is probably one of the highest grossing of the Stephen King movies, not including It, of course. The It film that came out recently, but I think Pet Sematary is probably one of the higher grossing Stephen King movies of all time. And that's me going off the top of my head. I could be totally wrong on that, but I think it was. You've never seen the original Pet Sematary? You can definitely see it. Because Paulie, sometimes dead is better. You'll understand that once you watch the original Pet Sematary. It was an amazing book. It made an amazing film. I really hope that this one does really well. I'd like to see a resurgence of King, and I'd like to see some more King stuff, like make it to the big screen and make it well. I mean, it was done really well. I want to see more stuff like that. I want to see like quality King. I don't want to see them like rushing stuff out just to capitalize on his name. We've seen that. Hey, Rune. Oh, Norway. Thanks a lot, and welcome to the movie club. So I'll say hi to Rune, guys. It's always cool when I have new members in here, and like people from all across the world. That's an awesome thing. I have like Jason Savant that comes in here, of course, from Australia. We have somebody in here from Estonia. Did I pronounce that right? Is that Estonia? Did I get it right? And we'll have some people here from like not many people here from Canada. Sometimes like the Colettes. Scott, I thought okay, Estonia, I got it right, good. The Colettes will come in here, and they're really good. They got their own channel as well. You get some like the podcast people coming here, just the discs, which they just dropped a new podcast, by the way. So I'm like super stoked to kind of check that out. There's a few new podcasts that came out, and I usually let you guys know when there's like new podcasts coming out because I'm like, you guys know I'm a podcast freak. So the supporting characters got an interview with Stephen Thrower, the author of the slasher book. Projection Booth is doing session 9. Just this is doing a Cabin Boy one. So I'm actually kind of interested in seeing that. Oh, Andrew, fingers crossed I will, and I'll let you know when it comes out. So come back in and I'll let you know. Definitely. And Shockwaves did one with a breakdown of the Ghostbusters theme, and a post-mortem with Mick Garris did like William Lustig. Oh really? That like terrified. You got my aunt who's now, she's passed on now, but at the time she died at an early age, unfortunately. But she was pregnant with her with now he's grown now, but a little one. We watched Pet Sematary at her place, and she didn't know what Pet Sematary was about or anything like that. So here she is pregnant, and she's watching the scene where Gage gets run over by this like huge truck, and needless to say, she was horrified. It was not something that she was super excited about seeing again. I don't think she ever watched Pet Sematary again for the rest of her life. Actually, rest in peace, Aunt May. You are missed. But guys, it is late, and I am going to see Halloween tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow night I'll be here talking to all you guys about the new Halloween film. I'll talk about that. So if you've seen it, we can get spoiler free in it, and if you haven't seen it, I'll try and not say too much to if people are in that haven't seen the new Halloween film yet. But thank you so much, guys. This was kind of an impromptu, off the cuff type of one, and it is so great to see so many people in here. So like the regulars and the newcomers. The Fozak was terrible. Oh, I love Dale Midkiff. Thank you guys so much for coming in. It's truly been a global movie library edition. So I'm Aaron. You guys are the movie club. You guys make this fantastic. I'm just the ringmaster. And right now, K-Doc, I am headed outside. So in a minute, right now I look like I'm one of the cast members from a Saw film. So it's it's time for tea, and definitely, guys, check out the Shameless sale. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm either like a member of Saw or I'm a Dark Jedi. Have a great evening, guys.